Well, I asked Elmer Recinos' teammates, what can you tell me about this guy? They said, what can't we tell you? Right? He loves a fight. He's got great volume, great defense. He shared the cage with Matt Valencia, who is indeed fighting for the title tonight. That was 6 months ago. He says for the lead up to this fight, the camp, he's been working a lot in his cardio. He's working at a frantic pace. And, man, his teammates have nothing but praise to heap upon this man. And I was able to talk to him at weigh-ins yesterday. A lovely human being. A guy that exudes confidence and an aura of almost cosmic level just oneness, right? Presence. Almost something you'd expect out of like a wise shaman. You see, even now, walking towards the cage, he really doesn't look all that tense. He's kind of just very, very calm, operating at a nice baseline. As Recinos makes his way around the cage, this is a Muay Thai bout. And he has had a wealth of experience in the sport. He is 4-4 there, but his opponent, Aaron Gilbert, looks to make it 4-5. He himself has a 5-3 Muay Thai record, fights out of the CT Combat Center, Connecticut Combat Center, under head coach Joe Brewer. Very muscular frame, very physical, right? It's what you'd expect from a guy who has the experience and the background and the physique of that type of athlete. Great cardio. He can melt guys if they're not careful, right? Great power, great leg kicks, and he too loves a fight, so expect fireworks in the cage for this one. It does seem like Elmer understood that this is the type of fight that he would be fighting, because as we already mentioned, he did put a large emphasis on his cardio in the lead up to this. So if that's any indication, he is expecting a back and forth brawl.
Fight is scheduled for 3 two-minute rounds. The referee in charge of the action, Chris Romulo. First, introducing and fighting under the blue corner, he stands at 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Out of Omni Sport, fighting out of Jersey City, Elmo Riot Recinos. And his opponent standing and fighting out of the red corner stands at 5 foot 7 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Under Connecticut Combat, fighting out of Naugatuck, Connecticut, Aaron Gilbert.
It is no secret that we will see a frantic pace here for our 10th bout of the evening. As said by the great Steve Mason, we are almost halfway through tonight. Here we go. And immediately you're going to notice Gilbert cuts angles. That's what he does very, very well. Fantastic footwork. He's always going to stay in your pace. So we can stay in your face with the pace. Nice crashing in 1-2. Recinos, that's one thing that in watching tape on Gilbert I did notice is that he does struggle in the clinch with the physicality end of things. So if Elmer can manage to kind of bully him in there, we could see a definite change in the course of this fight. But up top, it's been all Gilbert. Great job by Gilbert, starting down on bottom and then ending up on top with his boxing. Oh! Fantastic distance management, too, and fight IQ from Gilbert. Recinos gets him up against the fence. Referee did mention that if these two gentlemen or any Muay Thai fighters did get tangled up in any Muay Thai or kickboxing bout, they'd have to box their way out. It's looking like that's where Recinos can steal this fight, because right now Gilbert at range is having a lot more success. Especially when he mixes up, right? Because he'll start up top of the boxing. He'll go downstairs with the leg kicks. And even sometimes, right, he'll throw a traditional boxing combination. And as Recinos is shifting away, he tries to score with that head kick. Nice body kick out of Recinos. Almost the end of round number 1 here. And those shots of Gilbert landing true. But Recinos, he's been in fights like this before, right? One guy that Gilbert fights a lot like is Matt Allhart Valencia, right? With the constant pressure, with the constant pace that he puts on you, with those angles, with the diverse striking. So this is nothing that Elmer has not faced before. All right, here we go, round number 2. In terms of adjustments, I think Recinos needs to try to get a little bit more active with his boxing, right? And that's not for the sake of clogging up Gilbert's offense so much as I believe it is to kind of get his own offense going, right? He can use his boxing to enter the clinch, and then from there, that's where he shines. Right, because out here, Gilbert can just kind of pick him apart, right? Gilbert doesn't need to worry about the range of Recinos. But it's good volume fighting out of both men so far. Oof. And Gilbert has fought in many Muay Thai. I'm talking about not even just for local promotions like RFC, but at nationals, right? And all these different, you see all the different venues that he's fought at, right? And so this guy is clearly just seasoned, right? A seasoned veteran of the Muay Thai game. Recinos, a veteran in his own regard of the fight game, of the RFC promotion fight game. We are getting treated to an absolute war here through about 2 rounds. And this is the kind of fight, too, with Recinos pressuring as much as he does, that you want to see. Right? And you hear Gilbert's corner saying, keep him off the kick. So it's yep. They're calling for Gilbert to kind of handle that pressure a little bit better. Now Recinos is coming forward. And honestly, there's a world in which you could give that second round to Recinos possibly. It was tight. It was close. It was tight, and I don't know, but with that forward pressure, you'd have to think that that's going to definitely play some sort of a role in the judging criteria. We're 10 seconds out from the beginning of this third round here. Referee Chris Romulan in the middle, set to usher these two athletes back into war. And a huge third round for these two gentlemen. Gotta say, whenever Gilbert lands, he is severely rocking the head back of Recinos. Recinos happy to stand there and trade with him, though. Really needs to kind of get that pressure going as he is right now. That's a nice shifting hook there. Recinos shrugs it off, but that knocked his head back. Oh! Big push kick connects to the head of Gilbert. Now these two men entangled against the fence. Recinos' corner screaming for him to keep Gilbert against the cage. He cannot allow Gilbert to operate at range if he wants to win this fight. Still surging forward. Content to eat 3 to give 1. And this has been pretty competitive. 1 minute left, though. Big moment in this fight. Oh. Recinos, big knee up the middle. You have to appreciate the pace that both of these men have kept through 3 rounds. Not easy to be fighting with this type of ferocity over the course of 6 minutes. Recinos briefly looked over to the side before eating a shot, but he's still pressuring. And you see, now I don't know going into this judge's decision how this is going to look. I mean, Gilbert opened up looking really good. Recinos almost kind of fought his way back into this fight. So a big deliberation here in a moment. We'll hand it over to Steve Mason in the cage in just a second with the official decision.
Fighters, please come to the center of the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your winner by way of unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner, Aaron Gilbert.